Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in this video, as you seen in the thumbnail itself, so we are going to create cabling applications, like how we can use cabling part here, how we can provide dimensions to our parts, and how we are going to assign the diameter of the cable which we are going to create. So let's see all parts in this video. But I can't able to put single video for this entire cabling as it contains more like more tools. So I'm going to like make it as a part one and part two. So this will be the part one. So in this video, I'm going to teach you like how I created the parts and how I assembled them. So let's start. So at first, I'm going to select the working directory. So I'm going to create a new folder here. Uh, Cabling parts. So I click on OK. So my working directory has been created. So now I'm going to click on new part. I'm going to create a part as the first part. I'm going to name it as base. I'm going to unclick the default template. So here I'm going to select the same unit like which we have used for the past few months. So I'm going to select this MMNS part solid ABS. Click on OK. So at first I'm going to create a session, but for this cabling feature, like let me just explain before itself. So for the cabling, if you are going to implement any cabling features for your part, so the cabling will be exploded from the Z axis. Either if you place your part from the Y axis or if you use this plane for your part like a top plane, if the Y axis come towards outside, like come outwards like from the part, the cable will be extruded, not extruded from the y-axis. It will be extruded only at the z-axis. So if you need to start your making your parts for cabling, you should use this plane as a front plane for your sketch. Okay. So now I'm going to sketch and then go for the sketch view. Okay. So here, like I have taken these dimensions by my own. So you can also follow my dimensions, or if you need like a drafted diagram, or if you need any formatted diagram, I can also share my link to you. Okay. So or else you can also watch this entire video and you can also take my dimensions also. So here I'm going to draw a rectangle, this length of 400, this height as 300, then click on OK. Now, so this will be my base part. So I'm going to extrude this to a value of 5. Okay. So then click on OK. And now let's turn on shading with edges for the clear view of these edges. So now I'm going to select this top face. Let's check whether it is an x-axis. Okay, z-axis. And then I'm going to extrude it. Go for the sketch view. So here I'm going to draw like a rectangle on the like a previous rectangle as a, I'm going to take this previous rectangle as a reference rectangle. And then I'm going to draw one more rectangle like this. And let's assign this dimension. Like let me drag like this so it will be very easy to view that. And now I'm going to adjust this dimension as 390 and this height as 290. Okay. So now let's click on OK. Now I'm going to extrude this to a value of 35. It's from the base, right? So I have thought of extruding it for a 40, but we have created 5 mm height for the base, so I'm going to minus that value with the entire value, so it will be 35. Okay, so let's click on OK. Now I'm going to create some extruder cut here, like a circular cut. So I'm going to select this face and go for the sketch, or else you can directly go for the extrude itself. It doesn't matter. So now I'm going to take reference for this base plane. Okay, we go for the sketch view. You can see this will be the base. Okay, so here I'm going to draw a 3-point tangent and arc from here till here without any reference, and then I'm just dragging it towards this like a tangency with this reference line. Okay, so now Let's go for the dimensions. As you can see, there is some value here. So I'm going to make it as center. So I'm going to enter a value of 0 here. And let's see, like from here till here, I'm going to add some value. Or else you can also add this radius value. So I'm going to add a value of 40. So it will be extruded on the both side. Okay, so as we mentioned this center point. Okay, now I'm going to complete the sketch and then click on OK. Now I'm going to create extrude cut feature for this. So I'm going to flip the direction and I'm going to give it for the next service. Okay, so then click on OK. Now the first base part has been completed, but I'm going to add some more features for this part. So yeah, I'm going to click on this bottom plane and then go for the sketch. I'm going to go for the sketch view. Here at first, I'm going to take a reference for this outside edge, close it. Now here, I'm going to draw like a corner rectangle from this corner like this. And then let's assign few more dimensions for this line, for this rectangle. I'm going to enter this total length as 195 and this height value of 25 and this value as like I need to take this entire rectangle as center. So I'm going to take 25 divided by 2, so it will be the center value as 12.50. So now let's click on OK. Now I'm going to extrude this. Okay. Now I'm going to extrude this like with the distance of 5, which we have entered for the value for the base. Okay. So as it is in solid, so I'm then clicking on OK. Okay. So for the next part, I'm going to create another rectangle feature here. So I'm going to select this front plane again, go for the sketch and then go for the sketch view. Here also I'm going to take the reference for this line, then close it, and I'm going to draw a corner rectangle from this reference like this, like I'm going to draw without any dimensions, any coincident or tangent relationship for this rectangle, and then I'm going to add dimensions here. So for this dimension, I'm going to add 260 here, and this height value as 160. So this mid value will be like 160 divided by 2. It's nothing but 80. Okay. So I have created this part. So I'm click on OK here. So extrude this. So this will be the base. I'm going to enter a value of 5 as a base height and then click on OK. Then I'm going to select the surface again. I'm going for the sketch here, and here also I'm going to draw, yeah, corner rectangle. Okay, I'm going to take a reference as this rectangle and then I'm going to draw one rectangle and one more rectangle. Okay, so here we can add our dimensions. Okay, this entire length, yeah, this length and breadth is enough for me, so I'm going to add a 150 here. Okay, and this height value as 250. Okay, let's assign this distance value as 5 and this distance value as 5. Okay, our sketch has been completed, so let's click on OK here. Now I'm going to adjust this height. Okay, I'm going to add a value of 25 from the base. So this total height will be 30. Base as already it is extruded for the 5. So for the rest of value, I'm going to add it here. So it will be 25. Then click on OK. Now I'm going to create another circular extruded cut here, like the same which we have done before. Like you can also mirror it like by using this plane option. You can also create a plane and you can mirror it towards this side, but the dimension will differ for this both. Okay, here this total height will be 40, so it's based on the 40 it have created a arc here. So here this total height will be 30, so it is very hard for us to mirror this part. So I'm going to select this surface and I'm going for the sketch and then going for the sketch view. So here at first I'm going to take a reference line for this base, then close it, and I'm going to take a reference for this circle also, close it, and then go for the sketch view. Okay, so here I'm going to draw a line from this edge to this edge, and as we have taken the reference, I can directly create an 3-point tangent and arc with this reference line I was selected. Okay, so now let's click on OK. And now I'm going to extrude it towards back side, remove material. I'm going to click on through all option. Okay, so then click on OK. So we have completed our part. So this is going to be our base part. So then I'm going to add some round features here. Okay, go for round, select this, and then enter a value of 10. And I'm going to do this for all these edges. Okay, so now let's click on OK. So we have done our first part as our base part. So this is where we are going to create a cabling feature for this part. So now let's save this part. As we have selected the working directory, we can directly click on OK here. And then I'm going to create the next part. Okay, so this will be like output score holder. So here I'm going to select these unit MMNS parts for DABS again. So let's have a big view here. So then for this part, like we need to see whether the Z axis is towards us. Okay, I'm going to select this front plane. Okay, let's go for the sketch and then go for the sketch view. So here also I'm going to draw a center rectangle like this, and then I am going to adjust the dimensions as 70 and this height value as 25. Okay, and then I'm going to draw another one more rectangle like this without any coincident relationship with the old rectangle. So here I'm going to add a value of 50 and this height will be 15. Okay, so now let's go for extruding it. Okay, I'm going to extrude this, and yeah, let's add the extrude length as a value of 20 and then click on OK. Okay, so this will be our second part. So we have completed our part, so let's save it. Let's go for the third part and click the default template, and I'm going to renaming this part as output, and then here I'm going to rename it this default template, right? I'm on a spot for DABS and then click on OK. Like when you are assembling for one part, or even it may be any number of part, so don't forget to use the same default template which we are used for all those parts. Okay, so that is very important. Like if you have selected mmns for this part, and if you are going for mmks for some other parts, so it will not be able to get assembled. Okay, so we are implementing our dimensions on the basis of so if you go for mmks, it is very hard for you to assemble those parts. Okay, so here I'm going to select this front plane and go for the sketch and then go for the sketch view. Here also I'm going to draw a center rectangle like this. On that output holder box, like we have created the whole value, right? So I'm going to take the same dimensions here as a distance of 50 here, and with the height of 15 here. Okay, so then let's click on OK. Now I'm going to extrude this. Let's check whether our part is on extruded on the Z axis. So I'm going to flip it like this, and then I'm going to enter extrude value. Like I'm going to extrude value as 30. Okay, that's okay for me. I'm fine. So let's click on OK. So this will be the third part. It looks like simple, but it plays a very huge role while we are assembling all those parts. Okay, so this will be the box where all the cables are going to come out. Okay, so this will be the output part. So I'm going to save it, and let's go for the next part. As unclick the default template, and I'm going to rename it as input holder. So we are going to create a part where the wire or the cable which we are going to create is going to enter. Okay. So MMNS part solid ABS. Let's go for the full view. And here also we need to make sure that we are selecting the front plane and then go for the sketch and then go for the sketch view. So here at first I'm going to draw two circles, like two concentric circles, and I'm going to add this diameter value as 10, and I'm going to add another 5 for the small circle. Okay, so let's click on OK, and I'm going for the extrude, and now here I'm going to flip the direction and I'm going to extrude this as a default value. So okay, so the 10 value is okay for me, so I'm going to just click on OK here. So now I'm going to click this back surface and I'm going to create a sketch on this surface. Okay, so here I'm going to draw one more circle like this, and then I'm going to assign the dimension as a diameter of 20, then click on OK. Now I'm going to extrude this, like, yeah, the value of 20 is okay for me, so I'm just going to click OK. So this will be the third part, sorry, fourth part. So let's save this part and then click on OK. Let's click on new. Let's create our final part, like, which is nothing but clip, like, it will be the clip where the wiring will move towards or move inside this clip. Okay, so I'm going to rename it as a clip. Okay, and then the unit as MMS ports already ABS, and then click on OK. So for the full screen, and then here, like, uh, yeah, like for this part we are not going to create any input output features, we just want to create as this part. So it's okay whether you can move on with this, like a front plane, top plane, or right plane. It's not, not gonna play a big role in your part. Okay, so here at first I'm going to create a circle like this, and I'm going to enter the circle dia as 20 and then click on OK. Now I'm going to extrude this to a value of 2 here. Okay, then click on OK. Now I'm going to create like a one more feature for this. So for that, yeah, I'm going with this right datum plane. Go for the sketch and then go for the sketch view. Here I'm going to draw a rectangle. For that I need to take a reference for this top edge. So corner rectangle like this, and here I'm going to add this length as 8 and this distance value as 4 and this height value as 1. Okay, now click on OK. Now let's extrude it as a symmetric extrude, and I'm going to extrude this to a length of I'm not sure of it, so I'm going to take a value of 5 and then click on OK. Okay, now let's select this face and go for the sketch and go for the sketch view. Here at first I need to create a hole for our wire, so I'm going to create a hole like this, and I'm going to adjust this diameter value as 5. So we have done various parts. So for the various parts, we have added this inner dia as a value of 5. Okay, so that will be the diameter of the pipe also. It's not a kind of pipe. Like if we give some like parameters for our cable, like it will be like a tube-like structure, right? So for the tube-like structure, I am going to create, and I'm going to add a value of 5. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to add like a one more line feature for this. So from here till here and like this, and I'm going to complete like this line here. So then our single part has been completed. So now I'm going to delete these all unnecessary parts, and now I'm going to select this all these features, and I'm going to mirror it towards this center line. Okay, now let's click on OK. Now I'm going to extrude this as a symmetric extrude, and I'm going to extrude this to a value of Yeah, so either it may be one, or whether it looks like a very thin surface. I'm going to add a value of 2 here, and then click on OK. So we have done our clip part also. So I'm going to save this part and let's go for the assembly. Okay. So I'm going to select assembly, and here I'm going to rename this assembly name as cabling, and then so let's go for the assembly. So I'm going to click this and assembly, and I'm going to unclick the default template. I'm going to rename it as cabling underscore assembly. Okay, then click on OK. So here I'm going to select this unit as KMMNS ASM design ABS. Okay. So here at first we need to assemble the base part. Let's go for the preview and let's check whether this part is good. Okay. So for this base part, I'm going to give the default template for this part. Okay, default position, and then click on OK. So now you are good to go for the upcoming parts. Let's go for the second part. It's not going to be the clip and the output holder. Let's open that. At first, I'm going to drag like this. Then I'm going to select, like I'm going to do like this. Okay. I'm going to select this surface, and this back surface. Now I'm going to make it as a coincident relationship. And now I'm going to select this plane in this bottom surface. I'm going to assign a value for this. Okay. So I'm going to assign a value of 15 here. Check whether it is okay for us. I'm going to add a value of 20, so it's not good. Okay, for 35, it will be the total height of the part. So for the from the base, okay, so I'm going to divide it by 2. So that will be the midpoint. And then from here till here, okay, we have to assign a distance for this. So I'm going to make this as a coincident relationship and then click on OK. Now we have assembled our like a holder part, output holder. So we have to assemble the output here. So let's go for the assemble and the output and then click on OK. Let's drag this part near to our assembly. And then I'm going to flip like this, and let's check whether this coordination system on the top of this face. And now I'm going to select this mid plane and this mid plane. And I'm going to make it as a coincident. Okay. Let's check whether it is okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to drag like this. And now I'm going to select this back face and yeah, this face. Okay. And I'm going to make it as a coincident. And then I'm going to select this mid plane and this mid plane. Okay, it's a coincidence for me, and I'm going to click OK for this. Okay, so we have assembled two parts like output holder and output, and let's turn off all these datum planes and let's focus only on the coordination system. And we need to check whether this x-axis is towards the outside of the bot. Okay, okay. So now go for assembling or other parts. Okay, so we can assemble our next parts. So I'm going to assemble like this input holder part. We can OK. I'm going to drag like this. So I'm going to flip here. And then I'm going to select this back face. I'm going to select this surface. Okay. I'm going to make it as a coincident relationship. And I'm going to move like this. And then I'm going to select this plane and this bottom face. And let's assign the same distance like 35 divided by 2, like which we have given for the holder part, right? So I'm going to add the same dimension for this also. And then I'm going to add one more feature. Like I forgot to tell you guys, like if you have like this part is okay for me. So if I just click on OK, like you can see a rectangle, like a rectangle structure here. So it is showing us like our part as now not fully constrained. Okay. So if you go for edit definition, as you can see, the part is partially constrained. Like if you are giving any constraints for your part, after giving all constraints, the part should show as an like a it's like an yellow mixed with an orange color. Okay, okay. So the part should show like a yellow color. So if your part is showing as a violet color, you can see the part is not constrained. Okay, it is like partially constrained. So it may also damage, like if you have any mechanism here, it will entirely damage the entire part. Okay, so we need to check whether what are all the dimensions, the coincident relationship that we have provided. At first, we have done the like a coincident relationship. Then we have created distance relationship. So we need to add one more constraint for that. Okay, so for that, I'm going to select this plane and this surface. As you can see, the part has become yellow color and you can see fully constrained here. Like we can drag like this and I'm going to enter a value of 40 and then click on OK. As you can see, the rectangle has gone away. So it is nothing but we have fully constrained our parts. Okay. So I'm going to assemble the same part again here itself. So I'm going to select the same part again and I'm going to drag like this. Okay. The same, select this face and this back face. Okay, make it as a coincident. Now let's drag like this near to the position and I'm going to select this plane, the bottom plane, and I'm going to add a distance of 35 divided by 2. Okay, so then, and I'm going to add one more constraints like from this plane to this plane. And here I'm going to add a value of 70. 70 is too long. I'm going to add a value of 40 here also. Let's check whether it is okay. It is near to each other, so I'm going to add a 50 here. So then click on OK. Here you can see one output, two inputs, and I'm going to add one more input in this phase. So let's see how the cable can be connected through this path and enter into this input. Okay. So I'm going to assemble the same part again, open it, drag like this. Then I'm going to select this face, this back face. Sorry, I have selected plane. So this face, and then I'm going to make it as a coincident. Let's drag this part near to that. So then, like we have to create some more features for this constraints, like from this plane to bottom. Let's add a distance value 35 divided by 2. So here this height will be not 35, it's like it's 25, so 25 divided by 2 will become as a center. Okay. So then I'm going to add a relation for this plane to this surface. Okay. So for this, we need to know the exact dimensions of this. So or else like I think it's 260, 260, yeah, okay, 250, 250 divided by 2, it will be the center point. Okay. Then click on OK. So yeah, we have created output part, output holder, output, input as a three inputs. And then I'm going to add some more clip feature for this. So using that clip, our cabling can be done. Okay. Let's check whether our Z axis has vertical position with our part. Yeah, this is okay, and this, and this, and this. Okay. If you keep Y axis as on this side, so the cabling will not come out by this Y axis. Okay, like you have to keep Z axis for the cabling. So it is like a default option in Creo. If you are inserting any cabling option, it will be come out from the part through the Z axis. So it is very like I really recommend you guys to see the Z axis whether it is on the top of our part. Okay, so let's assemble the clip part, open it. Now I'm going to assemble this clip part inside this base first. So I'm just going to select this coincident relationship. And then I'm going to drag this and drag this. And I'm going to select this plane. I'm going to select this surface. Okay. So you can also drag like this. Okay. I'm going to assign a value of 75 for this distance. And then let's assemble like it is partially constrained. I'm going to add one more feature for this. I'm going to select this face and yeah, maybe even this face also. Like I'm going to drag slightly like this. Yeah, let's go for the rounded value of 60. Then click on OK. It's okay. And then I'm going to assemble the same part again. And I'm going to same like follow the same constraint like which we have followed before for assembling the part. Like I'm going to make this as a coincident. And then I'm going to drag like this. And then let's assign this distance value as the same which we have done like for this distance. So I'm going to add a value of 75. And then I'm going to select this plane and this surface and a value of 60. Okay. So we have completed our part. Let's click on OK. So this part, like this pathway has been created. So now I have to create one more pathway for this line. Okay. So I'm going to assemble another clip here. I'm going to select this surface and this bottom surface, make it as a coincident relationship. And now let's drag this and let's drag this like this. And then I'm going to make a like a coincident relationship for this plane and this entire center plane. Like yeah, this center plane. Okay, coincident. Now we need to assign from here till this surface. I'm going to keep the mid value. So we have created this as a 195 distance. I'm going to divide it. So it will be the center point, right? So then I'm going to click on OK. Okay. So this is how we need to create a part like for cabling feature. So then we can directly go for the applications and we can start cabling it. So let's see next video, guys, like how to connect this part through cabling option. Okay. Okay. So thanks for watching, guys. So if you want more videos related mechanical engineering or any other content, you can comment below. So yeah, guys. So that's all. Like I will upload this video like how to cabling and how to route cables for this part. So for that cabling, we need to create some harness, like harness and spools, and like there are various kind of options. So let's see deeply like it may be like a tutorial video for how to do cabling option. So let's see next video, guys. So till then, bye.